Hello, this is Sandy Coyne-Gilbert. What follows is a short introduction of the imposter syndrome that I would provide to my students as they enter, so this would be part of their orientation. In 1971, Carly Simon recorded a song about imposters. It was entitled "The Girl You Think You See," and it stated emphatically, "I am not necessarily the girl you think you see." Who knows, perhaps she suffered from the phenomenon of the imposter syndrome. In 1978, two psychologists, Drs. Suzanne Imes and Rose Clance, studied 150 successful women and discovered a common trait. These women, despite all success, no matter if in industry or academia, felt their successes were not attributed to their abilities. In essence, they did not feel worthy of their achievements. So the imposter syndrome was born. Dr. Valerie Young, an author of the book Secret Thoughts of Successful Women, estimates as many as 70 to 80% of the population will experience this phenomenon at one time or another, and that includes males. What concerns us at Goodwin the most is this syndrome is common among grad students. For this reason, we're going to introduce this topic for discussion. We intend to make this leadership program the most effective experience we can for you, taking you from where you are now to where your potential can take you. So let's dig into the topic and find out how you can navigate the imposter syndrome and grad school. Here's a quick outline of what we're going to cover and expose you to. The imposter syndrome means living a life where what people see is not who you believe you are. It's almost like wearing a mask all the time. The IPS, or imposter syndrome, is very common, and it keeps sufferers from truly experiencing the joy and excitement of accomplishments and truly life in general. It is so common that we might believe this is how we're supposed to live. Uncovering the symptoms and beginning the process of confronting patterns can and will help you to better appreciate and enjoy a higher quality of life, including this MSOL program. This is the greatest shackles we bear in this life are those forged by our own fears. IPS is not truth. In fact, the syndrome negates any evidence of success and exposes the sufferer to a deeply profound feeling the person is not talented, does not deserve any respect, and in general, as one author, Brady, shared, reminds you every now and then you're not as great as you think you are, and that eventually you will be exposed as truly unworthy. It demands a mask of competence every day and a looking glass exposure. This syndrome is often linked to personality and upbringing, but it can be situational as well. Try something new like a grad program and you might experience it. Here's a few comments from some students. These are real graduates of the MSOL who shared these comments early in their studies. Of course, we're using initials to protect the students, but it's important to know all have moved on to graduation. Even Jodie Foster, after winning an Oscar, felt she was a fluke. It's not impossible to believe that some of you might feel this is what lies ahead for you. The imposter syndrome, as shared by McGregor, Gee, and Pawsey, is characterized by strong feelings of intellectual and professional phoniness. This perpetuation of self-doubts and negative thoughts disrupts the actions of talented and capable people. This feeling can make people hesitate or procrastinate. The question becomes how much potential is lost in the swirling of negative emotions and lost potential. Since 1978, when Imes and Clance did their groundbreaking study, more and more people have been shown to deal with a sense of unworthiness, the feeling that people will unmask them soon. So, though they began the process, and Clance reinforced it in a book in 1985, you should know that even Mike Myers, an incredibly talented alum of Saturday Night Live, stated that at any time I still expect the no-talent police will come and arrest me. The arrival of negative thoughts is not unusual. Ask Serena Williams, Michelle Obama, Oscar Wilde, Natalie Portman, Lady Gaga, and the list goes on and on. All of these people have discussed their feelings and their dealings with living with the imposter syndrome. And it doesn't mean that it always has to be debilitating, but it always is disappointing. In a study by Pishka about the imposter syndrome in graduate students, it was related that successes are not attributed to aptitude or hard work, but instead believed to be the result of timing, luck, and the ability to fool others. Even Albert Einstein, an involuntary swindler. So the imposter syndrome is a real thing. Does it impact you? We're here today to give you some insights and allow you the opportunity to consider if IPS is part of your life. Many graduate students admit to being incredibly excited when they learn they're accepted. These first feelings of exhilaration might soon be replaced by the feelings of doubt. And perhaps the student will not be as successful as first thought. What if I'm just not smart enough? They will discover I am not who they think they am. I will be unmasked, embarrassed, and dismissed. As external factors are given more consideration, the abilities of the individual are less considered. And often natural byproducts of this syndrome is not just a lack of confidence, but depression and generalized anxiety. So, of course, not everyone accepted into a graduate program is dealing with IPS. But since the numbers are strong, the prevalence is potentially clear. As a result, we're asking you to take a test that was designed by Clance in her 1985 book to help participants uncover IPS. The results are yours and yours alone. If the results show you are dealing with some level of IPS, this is the first step in helping us uncover what to do to move you forward, to truly enjoy and embrace the program experience. Your results are private. You don't need to share them, but you should know this is not the end of the line. Here's some details about what the scores could mean, but you should know our program is designed to assist you in acclimating to graduate studies and moving forward in your experience and not allowing IPS to inhibit either your experience or your success. We also know that there are several ways, according to Meeker and McLaughlin, that you can counteract symptoms. What? Maybe even William Shakespeare, right? What we can do here first is to give you what we call a soft landing. This is an action where the focus is on your performance, not grades. Grading is very liberal and is really based on having you focus on the feedback. We feel if you can hear, see feedback more prevalently, you can begin to process really what your performance is like. We intend to help you to first find out what you did well. Yes, we know you will do some things very well. And we want to begin there. We also want you to be able to explain to your instructor what you did well. This is your first assignment as you deal with IPS. You will have to begin to appreciate parts of your assignment and the good we see. Next, we will deal with what you feel you should change the next time for better results. Finally, you gain the comfort in objectively assessing your performance and then determine how to better judge yourself next time. That's right, you are part of the process. We have the rubrics, we have the educators, we have the information, but nothing happens without you. So Stuart was a life coach who offered a 5-step plan to battle IPS. The general steps mentioned here are to alert you to what you need to consider as you move through the program. We will work together with you to help you recognize what you did well and own it. When you're feeling doubt, the use of a mantra you can adopt could help you. Perfectionism is often one of the traits that people with IPS have, and it can also be traced to childhood. When you feel you have to achieve perfection, consider that you will never see this moving goal, but will only feel the dissatisfaction of never being good enough. The concept of good enough is a powerful element. This is not accepting mediocrity, but beginning to appreciate doing your best, and the results must be enough. When you're trying so hard to prove your worth, you can't possibly do your best work. Stewart states you only need to prove anything to you. Feeling inferior is a natural outcome of comparing yourself to others. Leonardo da Vinci is credited with saying, "I have offended God and mankind because my work didn't reach the quality it should have." Consider this is Da Vinci, who thought his work wasn't good enough. Isn't it possible that this is IPS as well? I would offer you Brené Brown's statement about vulnerability. There is a vulnerability in tackling IPS. This means you must look at yourself and be prepared to let us look too. IPS does not disappear on its own, but with your diligence, candor, and allowing us to be part of your village, you can and will feel better. We present some rights to you as an MSOL student, and they are part of dealing with with IPS. Please review each of them and remember, IPS and battling it requires a village. You can and will have a better experience if we work all together to make sure you have the feeling of connection. So from making mistakes or being wrong to making sure you feel that your input is considered as valuable as the next person, you are an important element of the MSOL program. As you look at this, I would offer to you this other statement from Valerie Young. Your fear of being inadequate pales compared with the fear of being extraordinary. And perhaps that's part of what we're suggesting. Let's find where you're extraordinary. Even Maya Angelou. Your IPS is an attempt to protect you, strange though it might appear. You have so much to share with the world, and IPS, in its own strange way, tries to ensure you are met with success. Perhaps if you see IPS as something intended to be helpful, though misplaced, it is not as problematic. No matter what it is, time to put the mask away, and you are in the right place to do it. You do belong here, and we are committed to your success. You might feel this sentiment doesn't fit right now, but the longer we work together, the more we believe you will come to feel this sentiment too. We need you, and so does the industry, where you'll choose to share your skills and abilities. You are worth all of this work and effort. Welcome to the MSOL program.